Have you ever wondered what actually happens in a buyer's consultation and why skipping it is one of the biggest mistakes a buyer can make? Well, I'm here to let you know that a buyer's consultation isn't about pressure or paperwork. It's about preparation, clarity, and protecting yourself before you start house hunting. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is Maggie Cooper, your South Carolina real estate advocate with the brokerage LPT Realty. This is episode 5 of the South Carolina Home Journey. This episode is specifically focused on buyers. In episode 4, we talked about how to know if you're truly ready to buy or to sell. So naturally, the next question becomes, what do I do next if I'm thinking about buying? And for buyers, that next step is setting up a buyer's consultation. So first, I want to start with what a buyer consultation is not. Let's clear this up first because I've heard so many different stories of buyers getting freaked out by setting up a buyer's consultation. So it's not a sales pitch, a pressure meeting, a commitment to buy, or a meeting where you're forced to sign a buyer agency agreement. If that's what you're worried about, take a deep breath, breathe. That's not how I operate. What a buyer consultation actually is a planning and an educational meeting. It's where we talk through your goals, look at where you are financially, explain the buying process step by step, set realistic expectations, and create a clear roadmap for you. Sometimes that roadmap leads to buying now, later, way in the future, and sometimes it leads to preparation. Either income is a win. So let's talk about why a buyer consultation matters. So I do want to be clear about something and put a disclaimer out there. A buyer consultation does not prevent every unexpected thing from happening. What I always say, real estate is real life. Inspections can uncover surprises. Appraisals can come up differently than expected. Insurance or underwriting issues can arise, title issues, etc. However, having a buyer consultation greatly reduces surprises. It prepares you mentally, physically, and emotionally. So when things do come up, you're not blindsided, you're informed, and you're ready to respond. What we cover in a consultation. I don't want to overwhelm you as a buyer, but I do want to make sure you understand the big picture. Here's what we typically go over. Item 1, we focus on you, your goals, and your timelines. We talk about why you want to buy, your desired timelines, short-term versus your long-term plans, flexibility with move-in dates. This helps guide every decision that follows. In section 2, we focus on credit awareness. We do not pull credit in a buyer's consultation. I'm not a lender. I'm not authorized to pull credit. So let's be clear. What we do is we discuss where you believe your credit stands. That lenders focus on, again, that's your middle score, your general loan programs. So if improvements are needed, we talk about planning. I'm not here to judge you, okay? In section 3, we focus on income, employment, and documentation. We talk through how your income is structured, whether you're salary, hourly, employed, or commission-based, and your length of employment. Typically, lenders like to see at least 2 years or more. However, certain times there can be exceptions. We also discuss common documentations lender require, why consistency matters, and how recent job changes may affect timing. This helps avoid surprises later in the process. In section 4, we go to debt to income and monthly comforts. This is one of the most important conversations. We talk about your monthly payment comfort, not just your pre-approval limits. How taxes, insurance, HOA fees affect affordability, and why being approved for more doesn't mean spend more, and how your debt affects your income and your pre-approval amount. Your lifestyle and your peace of mind matters. In section 5, we cover savings and your upfront costs, from down payment, closing costs, home inspections, appraisals, earnest money deposits, termination fees, inspection fees. This helps you as a buyer understand that buying a home involves upfront costs, your cash to close, and plus your purchase price. Section 6, we talk about the market conditions. What is a buyer's market? What is a seller's market? How we determine which type of market we're in. If you already have a pre-approval, we discuss homes that are realistically available in your range. If you do not yet have your pre-approval, we skip that step and we focus on how to prepare for that pre-approval. Also, in section 7, we talked about, we go step by step through the whole buyer process. If you already have your pre-approval, great. You will skip the first step. But if you don't, the first thing you will do is connect with the lender to get your pre-approval. Once you have that, you reconnect back with me as your agent. We discuss realistic options of homes that's on the market, schedule showings, crunch numbers with your lender if you see a home that you're interested in, write an offer, go through inspections and due diligence time frame, appraisals, underwriting, re-inspections, and finally making it to the closing table. Understanding the flow reduces anxiety. Let's talk about lifestyle, home ownership, and responsibilities. We need to understand lifestyle changes, commutement, maintenance, repairs, the reality of putting on the home ownership hat. Owning a home is rewarding, but it also comes with responsibility. Preparation makes the transaction smoother. What happens after the consultation? At the end of the consultation, you know where you stand. You'll know your next steps and you'll feel clear and hopefully not overwhelmed. The next step might be connecting with the lender, improving the credit, saving a bit more, or starting a home search. There's no pressure or no rush either way. My role in this process, my role is not to sell you a home. My role is to educate, advocate, and protect your interests, and to help you make a decision that aligns with your real estate goals of purchasing a home. Whether that means buying now, planning for later, I'm here to guide you. What I do not do in a buyer's consultation, let's be very clear, I want you to understand, I don't pressure you as a buyer. I don't rush decisions, promise outcomes I can't control, push you as a buyer beyond your comfort level. My role, again, is to guide and not to force you. Okay? Always remember that. So if you're thinking about buying a home in South Carolina, especially in the PD region or the surrounding areas, I would love to help you with that. DM me, message me, use my contact information at below to schedule a buyer consultation so we can talk through where you stand and what your next steps should be. Even if you're not ready now, always remember clarity is always a good first step. As I always say, the process is personal, but the purpose is promised. Always trust the process. Until next time.